Hi guys, welcome to the shop. What we got here is kind of a big piece. It's I'm replacing the front suspension, all of it. And the old one is naturally it's stock, and it consists of this. And as you can see, or probably can't see, but if you look at the geometry here, or the construction in itself, it's a simple and kind of nice solution, but maybe not so much for a race car. You can see the trailing arm, or the wishbone. It's kind of short, and the way it's on the car right now, it's in its original position. So when you lower the car to get closer to the ground, to get your center of gravity closer to the ground, of course, bad things start to happen. Because these arms will take an angle that is somewhat less than optimal. What will happen is this. It's supposed to go this way. Here's the spindle, quite heavily modified, but it's the spindle, it's the McPherson strut, and brake rotor. So what will happen when this is assembled? It goes like this. So you see, you have the whole thing here. There is no actual separate link for the suspension to make a wishbone here. So the anti-roll bar is a part of the actual suspension, which is neat. It cuts weight, it makes it simple, but it's not really optimal. So what will happen, I'm just going to put this aside, what will happen when you lower the car is that this is a fixed point. It will remain the same, and this here will move. So when you lower the car, your wishbone will go like this. And without getting into too heavily into technical stuff here, you will lower the car's roll center, and you will apply a different angle. When the body will roll like this, let's say the wishbone was in this angle, it would actually deflect, or it will actually resist the body of the car rolling. But when positioned like this, it will actually assist the body rolling. So you will actually, when you lower a car, you will actually kind of ruin the plan. The engineers who built this and draw it up, they had a plan, and they designed a nice geometry that would work good for the car. And when you lower the car, you kind of ruin it all. It's not working the way it was intended, because every component in your suspension will affect every other component, every angle and everything. So what I'm trying to do here, well, I'm trying to do a few things, but what I'm trying to do here is I am going to, just to visualize it. I was thinking I got it the wrong way, but it's the right way. So what I'm trying to do here is, because I had lowered my car, I had actually started to get an angle on my arms like this. And to stop that from happening, there's really only one thing you can do, and that is to raise this front cross member in relation to the rest of the car. So that means I will have to cut my body right here, because it used to go there onto that surface, and you need to raise it up in the vehicle so that you will get this, the geometry that it was meant to have when it left the factory. And I always have great respect for the engineers of car companies, because they are almost always doing a good job, because they know their stuff. It's not rocket science for them, because they go over all of it multiple times, and they really know what they're doing. So they usually, or you might say always, come up with the best compromise for that vehicle. And I have tremendous respect for that. I do not have the resources to do anything like that. I can evaluate every angle isolated by itself, but I'm not really in a position where I can make as good a decision when taking all the components into account. So what I'm doing here, it got me thinking. Well, first I thought, well, I'm gonna race it. I'm gonna get back to the original specs, get all the angles the way it was intended, see if my chassis will start working better, my suspension. But then I started thinking, well, it's gonna be a standard 3 Series from 1981. That's not too bad, but an M3 2005 is even better. So I went out and got myself a complete front suspension from a BMW M3. I got another leg over there, but I don't think I will have to go get it. This is probably not going to get used. It's a heavy mother, I can tell you. It's really heavy. And it's down to roll ball, of course. Put that aside. So what we got here is somewhat the same geometry in a large perspective. I mean, there's differences, but it's not really very much different. It's mostly the same, but the way it's put together is somewhat different. So here we got, let's see if I got it the right way. Yes, I do. So as you can see from a first glance, this wishbone, that is actually the same part as this, is, I mean, considerably longer. And that will give us a calmer suspension. When trailing arms like this, I don't even know if that's the right term for it. When trailing arms like this move up and down, they naturally varies the length between this and this point. When it's angled like this, I mean, it's really close. When it's flat, it's wider apart. So the longer the arm, the more movement you can cope with without upsetting this distance too much. So longer arms are better. That's just a fact. It goes with everything. Right over the spectrum. So I was thinking I'm gonna heavily mod this, by the way, because this assembly here weighs almost 34 kilograms, whilst my own leg here that I've modded, so it's considerably lighter than a standard one, is, I think it's about 14.5 kilograms, so much lighter. We're gonna do the same to that when it comes. So this is what I'm doing. So instead of racing this in my chassis to raise it up to fix the geometry, I'm just gonna dump it and go for something way better. It's longer arms, and as you can see, maybe not see, but I'm telling you that this here is where the arm is supposed to go in, and that point is, let's see now if I can find it with one hand. I think I can. Yep. And the point here, where this ball joint is situated in relation to my cross member, is actually higher up. So I've got a few centimeters, maybe an inch higher on this one compared to my old one. So I think I'm just gonna do a time lapse now, because I'm disassembling the car. I've started out, as you can see, and I think I'm going to do a time lapse of removing the engine and just running about the car like a headless chicken for a little while, and I hope you enjoy it. There will be more videos on this one. I think it's going to be lengthy. Okay, you have a good one. Bye bye.